Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Drakiith and Nod Goblin Nico. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Battle Brothers, as we once again resume the adventures of the Raider Militia. Now, last time we started our exploration of the frozen north, and in doing so, we encountered a rather sizable group of bandits. These guys are mostly just thugs and poachers, so I'm not expecting a significant challenge here, but that elevated terrain could end up being a bit of a game changer. We will still need to be careful. Anyway, if things really look bad, then we'll just fall back and re-engage. Worst case scenario, we'll just run away. Ooh, that is not ideal. Seeing the raiders in hot pursuit, the bandit gang quickly seeks refuge on a nearby hill. As the raiders approach, they're met with a rain of slingstones and arrows. Okay, I think our best bet here is to fall back about 3 to 4 spaces. We've got much better terrain right behind us, so if we can bait these guys into coming after us, then we'll be in a much better position. There we go. Jeff starts us off, sinking a bolt into an unfortunate bandit's chest and puncturing his lung. We might actually end up in a standoff here, if these guys won't come any closer. Okay, we're good. The bandits continue their cautious approach. Behind them, the poachers remain entrenched on the hill, ineffectually raining stones on the militia's formation. Alois takes down the gasping bandit with a well-placed shot. Rabbit's bolt creases the side of a bandit's head, reducing his ear to tatters. The rest of the raiders hold. No sense in tiring themselves out before the bandits reach them. A normal Joe steps up. His sword bites deep, slicing a bandit thug's arm to the bone. Rev moves up as well, brutally slaughtering the crippled bandit, though that does leave him somewhat vulnerable. Rev takes a hit, but his armor absorbs it. The poachers hold fire for fear of hitting their own. Rowan lunges forward, catching the wounded axeman in the head and killing him on the spot. Let's get some guys on those poachers. Valen steps up, stunning a bandit swordsman. Rabbit puts a bolt through the stunned swordsman's heart, dropping him to the ground. Joe moves up, warily engaging a bandit with a pitchfork. Rev lands a headshot, smashing another bandit's nose. Ooh. Rev soaks up 2 more hits, but his armor is definitely doing its job. Fox takes a hit as well, but it barely dents his armor. Alois moves up, executing the noseless bandit. Cazador lunges with her pike, planting it deep in a bandit thug's side. Several raiders start advancing on the undefended poachers. The nervous bandits begin retreating down the far side of the hill. Quintus drives back the bandit shieldmen. Then Joe slaughters the bandit with a pitchfork. Stileppo lands a hit, crushing 3 of a bandit's fingers. Cazador impales the bandit shieldman through the hand, leaving him fumbling and unable to fight. Stileppo soaks a hit. Then King finishes off the wounded shieldman. With that, the bandit line is broken. The poachers are in full retreat. Rabbit lobs a shot blindly over the hill. It misses her intended target, but still goes through a bandit slinger's shoulder. Drakiith kills the last of the bandit front line. And Goblin catches up with the first of the fleeing poachers. Sensing the battle is lost, the rest of the bandits turn and flee. Rabbit lobs another shot over the hill. This time it pierces a bandit bowman's brain. Poor guy. He's not going to get far fighting us with a wooden stick. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to catch up with those other two guys, but we might be able to pick them off with our crossbows. Well, there goes one of them. Quintus mauls a badly outclassed poacher, shattering his hand and elbow. Fingers crossed. All right. Drakiith executes the one-armed bandit, and the last of the poachers makes good his escape. Well, not bad. We did take a few avoidable injuries, but nothing heavier than a flesh wound. No level ups, though. As for loot, we can definitely use that flail, but the rest of this stuff is mostly just vendor trash. Not great, but not bad either. Moving on. Let's give our guys a few more options here. Okay, on to Finstermark. Ooh, we could use a brawler. Let's check these guys out real quick. Okay, Brute. Fearless, interesting. Hate for beasts, and determined. Like a monster hunter in training. That one's got some promise. I would like to hire a couple of these guys, but we need to raise some money first. Oh, very nice. The sell prices here are actually pretty good. Okay, I think it's about time to dump half our inventory. Let's hit the pause button real quick. We'll be back after I've picked out our new recruits. And we're back. Now, we just made almost 1,500 gold with that loot, so I decided we'd pick up 2 new recruits instead of just 1. The only one we ended up skipping was the Brawler, who, unfortunately, was just a little too inaccurate for his own good. But we did end up picking up the other 2, starting with the Fearless Butcher here, J. Rook. He's got stars in melee and both defensive attributes, so nothing spectacular, but definitely a solid recruit. Our other new recruit is Cecil Darius Kane, the determined hunter who hates beasts. Now, I was actually hoping that this guy would have the makings of another archer, and while he does have 1 star in ranged accuracy, he also has 3 stars in melee defense, and that's really kind of wasted on the back line. I mean, I've given him a crossbow for now, just to keep him safe while he gains his first couple of levels, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Cecil is destined for the front line. More notably, the extra manpower also gives us more flexibility. We can now afford to bench up to 2 of our raiders at a time, while still fielding a full company. Anyway, let's have a look at the contracts that Finstermark has to offer. A group of local knights are in the room with Conrad the Elder. They regard you plainly, as though you were a dog who had pushed the door open and moseyed in. Conrad the Elder reaches down from his chair and retrieves a scroll and throws it your way. Barbarians left that for me when I went to make sense of a nearby farmstead that was obliterated. The paper has runic drawings and what look like depictions of a hanging. Conrad the Elder nods. They massacred the farmers, the men anyway. The old gods know what came of the women. Go north of here, Sellsword, and find the barbarians responsible. You'll be paid handsomely for their outright, total, and complete annihilation. Wow, that's our first barbarian contract. I'm not sure we're actually ready for that, but I'm certainly not going to turn him down. Yeah, pays a little higher than our average bandit contract. I'd say we're in for a pretty tough fight here. Halfway between Finstermark and Harkenstadt. Alright, I guess we'll have to go around this mountain range here. Let's get to it. You find an abandoned wagon among some tall reeds. Fox checks it out and barks back. It's broke as shit, but I think we can salvage parts of it. Not bad. Huh. A plethora of barbarian thralls. That actually doesn't sound that bad. Alright, let's wait till morning. Okay, let's do this. Just as it seems the Retcon Raiders are ready to clash with the savages, a lone figure steps out and stands between the battle lines. He's got a parted long beard knotted around tortoise shells, and his head is sheltered beneath the sloping snout of a wolf's skull. The elder stands unarmed, save for a long staff which clatters with tethered deer horns. Shockingly, he speaks in your tongue. Outsiders, welcome to the north. We are not so inhospitable as you may think. As is our tradition, we believe that battle between two men is just as honorable and of value as that between two armies. So it is I offer my strongest champion, Hergold the Menace. A burly man steps forward. He unhooks the pelts and tosses them aside to reveal a body of pure muscle, tendon, and scars. The elder nods. Put forth your champion, outsiders, and we shall share a day that all our ancestors will smile upon. Well, that is quite the offer. I'll admit, I'm tempted to take him up on it, but at the same time, I know full well that we're nowhere near ready to solo a barbarian champion. Besides, these guys slaughtered farmers and stole their women. I mean, I don't think they're really deserving of special treatment here. Sorry, Elder. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Alright. Terrain looks pretty good, though we will need to get our northern flank onto higher ground. As for the thralls, they hit pretty hard, but they're poorly armored, so they're your basic glass cannons. We should be fine as long as we don't get overwhelmed. The ravenous horde approaches. There we go. Cecil puts a bolt into a charging barbarian. The man howls as it pierces his kidney. Come on, Jeff. You've got this. Nice. Jeff puts a shot into the mortally wounded barbarian, dropping him to the ground. The raiders carefully advance, shields raised, ready to receive the barbarian's charge. Jay moves up, gutting a barbarian in a bearskin cap. Joe advances, meeting a barbarian in toe-to-toe combat and severing the man's Achilles tendon. Okay. King steps up, dropping the gut-wounded thrall. The barbarians begin their savage assault. Drakiith loses half of his chainmail. Minor hit on Jay. And there goes half of Stalepo's armor, too. Joe soaks a few hits, but his armor just barely holds. Alright, Raiders, let's make this good. Rowan moves up, clubbing a thrall in the head. Jay lands a hit, opening a bloody gash across another barbarian's face. Joe kills the hobbled barbarian, then turns his attention to the next one in line. Cecil fires into the charging horde, his bolt finding purchase in a thrall's chest. Rabbit fires as well, and the barbarian howls as he drops to the ground. King impales another barbarian, the company banner slick with their blood. Archibald looses a shot, blood fountaining from a stricken thrall's neck. Jeff follows up, putting a second bolt through the same thrall's thigh. Seeing his opponent stumble, Stalepo grabs for his cleaver, then decapitates the wounded barbarian. Need to get cleavers on the rest of our front line. Nod drives another thrall to the ground, then steps up, standing shoulder to shoulder with Stalepo. Quintus smashes a barbarian in the face, blood spraying from the thrall's ruined nose. Valen steps up, executing the barbarian before he can recover. Stalepo's armor hangs in tatters, but the man himself is still intact. Stalepo's armor is gone. Cazador cuts down a wounded thrall with a broad sweep of her long axe. Cecil punches a 2-inch hole in a barbarian spearman's throat. king lunges, gut-wounding a barbarian waving a sharpened antler. Jeff fires a well-placed shot, taking off a barbarian axeman's ear. Joe presses the assault, mercilessly cutting down the one-eared thrall. Rowan lands a devastating hit, sending his opponent tumbling across the battlefield. The Horde's resolve begins to waver. Skelebit stows his flail in favor of his trusty cleaver instead, efficiently dismembering his unfortunate foe. Nod crushes a barbarian's skull. And Quintus follows suit, driving another thrall into the dirt. One thrall remains, and Valin moves up to meet him. A swing of the club, and the thrall's arm is snapped like a twig. The barbarian remains defiant until the very end, a thrust of his spear deflected by Stalepo's helm. And thus it ends. The Raiders stand victorious, though not without their scars. All things considered, I think that went pretty well. Obviously, it got pretty bloody, but we walked away with 5 level ups. As for the gear, this stuff is, unsurprisingly, pretty primitive. We can use those throwing weapons, but not much else. And I guess that's it. I am tempted to hit one of those other settlements, but we should probably turn in this contract first. Oh, let's swap out a couple of our wounded here. You find Conrad the Elder and a group of armored men standing around a table. A barbarian's corpse is on it. The flesh is grayed, but the body's musculature and grit has not yet been decayed. They ask if you truly fought men of this sort. You cut to the chase and ask for your pay. Conrad the Elder claps and shows you off to the group. "Gentlemen, this is the sort of man I want in my ranks. Unfearful and always focused." One of the nobles spits and says something you don't hear. You ask him to speak up if he's something to say, but Conrad the Elder rushes forward, chest of crowns in hand, and sends you on your way. Yeah, that's probably for the best. Okay, no injuries, but we are completely out of tools. I'll have to resupply between episodes. For now, though, let's take care of those level ups. Man, Nod continues to be one of the most tireless and well-defended men in the company, but I really wish we could boost his melee accuracy. Well, we'll just round out his resolve for now. Level 5, so quick hands. Rowan Church. Well, we've got some proper throwing weapons now, so I guess we can start building him into a proper thrower. In fact, I think it's time for all of our brothers to start diverging into more specialized roles as they hit level 6. I guess the other thing we have to decide here is whether he's going to be a frontline thrower with a shield and heavy armor, or a backline thrower, maybe with a polearm or crossbow. We'll have to think about that. Then we've got Jeff. He should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, ranged accuracy, fatigue, and I guess we could round out his hit points. No, we'd better start boosting his range defense. And Archibald. Okay, range defense, fatigue, and... Oh, right, he is tiny, so we'd better keep him focused on range. I'm not actually sure what perk I want for Rowan, so we'll just leave that one empty for now. It'll probably end up being quick hands, but I'd like to at least consider my options. Alright, folks, I think that brings us to a pretty good stopping point for now. We need to sell off that loot, and I would like to rearrange the company a little. Anyway, we'll pick up here next time, as we continue exploring the frozen north. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, the FanRun wiki, or the official store pages on Steam or GOG. Links are in the description.